These days, so many people are struggling to survive financially. The saying, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, seems to ring true for a lot more people. But what is it that really separates upper class or world class from middle class? In his book, How Rich People Think, Steve Siebold breaks down the differences and shares his own insights into what it takes to become a millionaire. Steve Siebold describes himself as a mental toughness expert. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks, Jocelyn.
What exactly is a mental toughness expert?
Well, I teach people and organizations, large sales forces mostly, how to control their thinking and their emotions to get what they want, basically.
And you get them to think that way?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes. All right. Well, let's talk about this book.
Okay.
You had to have talked to so many people to get their insight. How did you get rich people to share some of that with you?
I got lucky. 26 years ago, I broke into the inner circles of the rich in Florida, and I've been in that circle ever since as an outsider, observing and writing about them and interviewing them all over the world.
And so you gained their trust, basically.
Yes. It's not an easy thing to do either.
It's not, but you yourself became a millionaire. So how did you do it?
Well, I'm interviewing whales. I'm a minnow in the sea of millionaires, but I've been interviewing the big players for for a quarter century now, and I got lucky, and they've referred me to their friends, and it's been fascinating.
What's the best advice you received?
Don't operate from fear when it comes to money. Look at money in terms of possibility, liberty, freedom, abundance, and approach it that way as opposed to, I hope I have enough to survive.
So do a lot of people think that way?
I think most of us do. I think I grew up thinking that way. I thought that way for the first 25 years of my life, and of course I was broke doing that. And they changed the way I thought about it, and everything started to open up after that.
But is it difficult, though, to persuade people to think that way if they haven't thought that way?
Yeah, it's like living on a different planet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is, especially if you're struggling with bills. I mean, I can remember, thinking, how am I going to get $400 to replace the cars, the tires on my 1968, Oldsmobile Delta 88? And so, yeah, when you're in a fear-based...
So you've been there and
absolutely,
done that.
Absolutely. I've spent the night sweating, thinking, how am I going to pay the mortgage and all that? And it's tough to go from that fear-based mentality to this I'm going to be a millionaire kind of abundant thinking.
Well, how do you overcome that mentality?
I think first of all, I think you have to learn the differences in thinking between what I call the middle class or the average person and what I call the world class or the wealthy.
I was going to ask you, first of all, why do you refer to the wealthy as the world class?
Well, these are some of the most successful people in the entire world, and so I say they're the world class in what they do. In this context, it happens to be money.
Okay, very good. Now, you have several things you talk about in your book. But first of all, let's talk about one of the things you do say. Middle class focuses on saving. World class focuses on earning.
Right. We're taught to be savers, to hoard money. Now, the average person in America right now makes $42,000 a year. You can save for a long time with $42,000 a year at 4 or 5% and not really have much money. So the world class, the rich, focus on earning, especially now with all these brand new problems. Even here in New Haven, home of Yale University, all these smart kids here, they're focusing on the new problems, the new economy.
Do you think what it is that people just don't want to take risks?
The rich aren't big risk takers. I mean, that's a myth. I mean, they don't like playing the slot machines. They like owning the slot machines.
Okay.
They like calculated risks and calculated strategies, and they focus on making money. It's one of the reasons they have it.
That makes sense. Okay, middle class believes hard work creates wealth. World class believes leverage creates wealth. Explain that.
That's what we're taught, right?
Yes.
You grew up in St. Louis. I grew up in Chicago. The Midwest, we're taught work hard and you'll do okay. Go to college, get a good job, that kind of thing. And it works for some people, but the rich leverage everything they have.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they leverage their contacts, their credibility, their knowledge, their education. Well, look at the kids here at Yale University. Imagine the leverage a kid that graduates or a young adult graduates from Yale University for the rest of his or her life. They'll go around the world. They'll say Yale University, and anywhere on the planet, people will say, wow, Yale. This must be someone I want to do business with.
So what people don't understand is that networking really works.
Oh, yeah, it works. Again, this is a great town for that.
Middle class, you also say, believes money is earned through labor, while world class believes money is earned through thought.
Hey, we're trained. College, high school, right? All to labor is the key. We're going to work hard. And again, same thing. Hours for dollars. We trade time for money. And the rich don't do that. The rich think of how to solve problems. The more money they want, the bigger problem they have to solve.
Also, you say middle class worries about running out of money. We've all been there. World class thinks about how to make more money. But how do you make more money when you don't have any money?
It's a consciousness. I mean, and I don't mean to sound ethereal about it, but it really is an approach. It's a mindset. It's a state of mind where you approach it through the eyes of abundance and possibility as opposed to fear. When you think about money, you train yourself. It's a skill you can learn to think it, to look through the filter of abundance and possibility as opposed to, I hope I have enough to survive or pay my bills.
So, but do you need to have an idea, though, to break through that?
I think to actually make the money, I mean, thinking is one thing. It gets you a consciousness, a framework is one, a mental framework is one thing. Now you have to have an idea to make it happen. Thinking is not going to make it happen.
Exactly.
You can think all you want, but you have to think about how to solve a problem. And the rich are currently reloading to solve new problems in this brand new economy, and it's going to be an amazing time to make money.
And you can become a self-made millionaire.
Probably more now than ever before, because the whole economy, the global economy, is shifting. And all these brand new problems are presenting themselves, and someone is going to have to solve those problems, and the world will gladly make you rich if you can solve their problems.
You also say middle class operates from a fear-based consciousness. World class operates in a consciousness of abundance and freedom.
Right. We're taught, if you think about it, we're taught from our parents, our coaches, our ministers, our Boy Scout leaders, our Brownie, all people of influence us when we're children that basically say money is wrong, money is evil, it's the root of all evil, rich people are narcissists, they're greedy, they're snobby. There's all these negative things about money, so we attach fear to it and we attach negative thinking to it. Why would we ever want to accumulate something that's so negative? So most people never do.
And one more thing, let's go through this one. Middle class sees money through the eyes of emotion. World class sees money through the eyes of logic. Now, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, the rich are able to separate emotion and use emotion for motivation. This is what mental toughness training is. A lot of it is about. You use emotion for motivation. You use logic for calculated strategy, and you never blend the two.
Just one last little bit of advice. What would you say to people out there who really, really want to do more than what they already have?
I would say no matter what situation, if you're sitting there right now watching this and you're broke and you're thinking, you got to be kidding me, pal.
Exactly.
I can't pay my... I get it. I've been there. I get it. That you can do this. You've got to come up with an idea. This is America. This is the land of opportunity where you come up with an idea and the world will gladly make you richer than you're ever going to need to be. You can do this. That's what I would say to people. Don't think that you have to attend Yale University and be that level of an intellect to get rich, because you don't, because I don't think I can get in there now.
Steve, thank you so much. That book, again, is How Rich People Think, and we look forward to your next book.
Thanks a lot, Jocelyn.
You're welcome. And coming up, we are in the kitchen with Chef Tony